Hello YouTube, Sharps 1874 here, and today I have a question for you, the viewers, and love to hear your comments down below. So those of you who know me, have watched my channel for a long time, know that I do not claim to be an expert on history or on firearms. I'm just a guy who likes to reload and go out and plink around and shoot targets, and I'm learning long-range shooting, so that's me. But I really enjoy collecting World War I, World War II military firearms. And like I say, I'm not a history buff. I don't know everything there is to know about the different World War II guns, but I was doing a little research and found out something very interesting. You may already know this, but that's not what the video is about. The video is, well, we'll get to that in just a minute. So we know that the Russians had the Mosin. Now, those of you with a keen eye will recognize that this is a Finnish Mosin. It is not a Soviet Mosin. This has been reworked into a really nice firearm. But nonetheless, the Soviets had the Mosin. They also had the SKS. Okay? And for the longest time, I thought they just had the two. And then it was brought to my attention that there was an intermediate rifle, and I didn't know about it, called the SVT 40. Let's take a look at it. Here is the SVT 40. So basically, this is a semi-automatic version of the Mosin. Fires the same cartridge as the Mosin Nagant, but it's got a 10-round mag. Can be fed with stripper clips. And as always, we want to make sure that our firearms are clean, and as all of them are. Don't want anyone to think that I'm breaching protocol. We are clean, empty, and there is no ammunition anywhere around. So I want to talk about the SVT 40. So I'm going to put the SKS off to the side and without falling, and I'm going to put the Mosin, the Finnish Mosin, off to the side. It's harder than it looks. And just talk about this. So when I found out about the fact that there's this gun, I went looking. And I got online and I found this particular one, and what struck me odd is that the fellow who was selling it had a number of others, and they were all relatively much higher priced than this one. And the only thing that was said about this was that it was a bring back because there were no import markings. And it was in really good condition. So let's take a look at this. I would call this in really good condition. let's see, 1940, yeah, 1940. And we'll go down the other side. So when I saw this, I thought, you know what? That's kind of odd. Now, because I am not an expert on, well, really anything, I want to get your thoughts on this. Here's what my thinking is. I don't believe that this is a bring-back gun. And the main reason for that, let me flip this. Because of that marking right there, I believe that this was a Finnish capture gun. And so the Finns took these capture guns, rearsenaled them, and brought them back into good working order. If you look down, the rifling is just pristine. This is really in mint condition. So the Finns reworked these, and I believe, this is my thought, and would really like to know, so if you know about this, please put it in the comments below. There was a time when, I think in the mid-60s or early 70s, that's when they required import markings on rifles. I believe that this was a Finnish capture rifle that was imported into the United States before import markings were required. Would love to know what you think, but I have not taken it out and shot it yet because it's still cold. But I plan on really soon going out and shooting this, and I will get some video of this. From what I understand, with this particular muzzle brake, it's quite loud. Now, what intrigued me about this rifle is as I understand it, all the SVT 40s were reworked. They were either reworked in Finland or in the Soviet Union. If they were reworked in the Soviet Union, then I'll tell you what, I'm going to close this. And if you depress the trigger as you're sliding it down, it will go. You take the mag out. This is kind of a plum color if it was reworked in the Soviet Union. Also, if it was reworked in the Soviet Union, they would electro-pencil etch the serial numbers on all the parts. And as I understand it, the originals, and here again, please correct me if I'm wrong, the originals SVT 40s did not have serial numbers on all the parts. Because this was introduced late in the war, and it's more costly to produce because there are more parts, and so they just kept producing the Mosin Nagants that they had all the tooling for, and the Germans captured a ton of these and from the Russians and started using them against the Russians. That's my understanding of the SVT 40. So there's my question that I'm putting to the YouTube audience. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. After I take this out shooting, I will tear this down, and the mainspring in here, yeah, the videos that I've seen online, don't do it justice on how difficult it is to get that mainspring out. And so we'll do some close-up video work showing how to disassemble this down into the basic components for cleaning. So there's my story. Here's my SVT 40, which is in mint condition. I think it's just tremendous. Oh, if you haven't seen this, this is the safety right here. It's essentially a mechanical safety. When it's in that position, you can't do anything with it. But if the trigger just won't go back. So now what we're used to seeing as a safety, now there is an indentation on this side. So if you could have moved the safety over here into this position, that would allow this to shoot fully automatic. And from what I understand, when you're firing the 7.62x54R on full auto, it's a butt kicker. So they encourage people not to fire it fully automatic. So anyway, that's what I've been told. Whether it's true or not, cannot say. I'm interested in your comments. But here we have the intermediate gun between the Mosin Nagant and the SKS, the SV40, a auto feed 10 round semi-automatic or fully automatic, depending on how it was made, rifle. The Soviets used a limited amount in World War II. I'm Sharps 1874. I thought you might like to know.